Hey guys, it's been a while. Went crappie fishing yesterday, and I did have the GoPro with me, but the come back and loaded it, and the file was corrupt. I couldn't recover the footage, but went yesterday evening. Got I don't know, 8 or 10 keepers here, and had several people ask me how I fillet a crappie. So I thought I'd post that today and just show you guys how I do it. There's certainly probably a million ways to do it, but this is the way I like to do it. And also, there's no bones in it. It's a pure fillet. But hope you guys like this video. We've seen a lot of growth here lately in the channel, which is good. We've got turkey season is exactly 1 week from today here in Georgia. So Brandon will be headed up here Friday, and we'll be hitting the woods Saturday. But check out this how to clean a crappie video, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up and leave a comment, or if you guys know of a different way or like to do it. But we're in my garage, that's why it looks so messy, but you'll get to see my fish cleaning, game cleaning station here when I flip it down. It's a old stainless steel sink that came out of a building that wasn't being used, and repurposed it. But check it out, and I'll try to talk you through it the best I can. But leave a thumbs up and leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because it certainly helps us out. We're still trying to get to that 1,000 mark, and we're almost halfway there. So here's crappie. Now, what I did yesterday when I caught these, if you'll cut these fish while they're alive, right here at this plate, and then what I do is switch them from this live well over to this live well, so I know which ones I've done. If you'll snip that with a pair of snippers, throw them in the live well, their heart will actually pump all the blood out of their body, so there is no blood left in the fish, which is why I was able to put these in a trash bag and put them in the refrigerator and save them till this morning to clean. Kurt showed me that trick. I won't take credit for it, but it is amazing, because their own heart will pump the blood out, and you don't have any blood in the meat, which also makes for a better fillet. So thanks, Kurt. And the reason you guys haven't seen Kurt this year, and the reason you guys haven't seen Kurt this year is he's had some health issues. Nothing serious, but he'll be in an upcoming video. What I like to do is you can see right here where this comes to a point, I like to find the soft spot right behind the skull, and you just pierce that skin, and then put down pressure on your knife and follow that backbone. And you always want to cut with the scales, otherwise you're going to end up with a bunch of scales all over the place. But you just come right down that backbone. You can take your thumb, just sort of feel your way. Then once you get a seam in the fish, you can just take your knife and come right down that backbone, and you're sort of feeling with your knife. You're feeling for the edge of that rib cage, and right there it is. I can feel my knife going up and over it. So what I want to do is just feel those bones with my knife tip, and then once you get past the rib cage, you kind of want to flatten this knife like this, come past that last rib cage bone, and if you come back this way, once you open it up, you can hear that. That's the rib cage I'm hitting. You don't want that in the meat if you want to fillet. So here I'm past the rib cage. I'm going to push this knife through, come out right at the bottom, do a slight downward pressure, come right off to the back. And see, you can hear that rib cage. So here, I'm coming back towards the head. I'm coming this way. Coming down towards the bottom of the fish. And then I just slowly run this knife right around those ribs. Not to get any of the bones, being careful not to get any of the bones in the meat. And once I get to there, I simply do that, pull it, and then you have fillet on this side, skin on this side. Well, we want to get that skin off. What we want to do is we'll come here, take your nail, get a piece of that skin. You want to come back a little bit, flip your knife around, and notice how I'm putting a concave on that knife. Then I'm sawing between the skin and that fillet. And there's you a perfect boneless, skinless crappie fillet right there. That's ready. You could wash this off, throw it in some batter, and throw it in a frying pan, fresh as it can be. And you've got all the way from the head meat all the way down. You can sort of see the rib cage outline right here, and then going back towards the tail. You can see the rib cage where it would have been. And as you can see, I mean, this here houses the entrails to the fish. And this way, you don't have to gut the fish. You've cut around the entrails there. Now I'm going to show you a different technique. I'm going to set this over here in this stainless steel sink. I'm going to show you a different technique, and depending on the kind of time I have, but this is electric fillet knife. This is a little this is certainly not as clean as what I just showed you, but it is faster. It is a lot faster. You can get these at Walmart. This is not an expensive knife. You can get these at Walmart or Bass Pro or anything like that. It's not. I think this one, I've had this one I think 5 years. It's done everything from freshwater fish to saltwater fish. I think this was $29.99. So here's method number 2. And this is a little more violent, but this certainly works as well. What I like to do is on this, take this fin right here. I'll pin it up with my hand. I'm going to start right here, and this way I'm going to cut through the rib cage. I'm not cutting around the rib cage with this. So here we go. I'm going to start here, come down, then I'll flay it this way. I'm going to flip it over. Now this way will expose the entrails, so. So done that, flip it. Here you can see the rib cage, it's in here, and so this is what we cut around using our knife. But now you can take this, bend it down, so here you have a fillet just like we had the other time, but now you've got this rib cage in it. So you still have to take a knife, And let me use a different knife for that. I don't want to use my fillet knife to. You would have to cut this arc out of this. Cut the rib cage meat out to have a boneless fillet. And you do get a little bit more of this bottom side doing it this way, but to me it's not enough to matter. So using that method, you end up with a boneless fillet, and you do end up with a little piece of meat here that's not in the other one, but we'll wash this off. But there's the second way of doing it. So I'm going to finish cleaning these up, and then I'll show you how I package the meat for freezing, or letting them soak, even if you were going to cook them right away, which I'm not going to cook these right away. I'm going to freeze these and thaw them out at a later date and eat them. I'll show you what I do, but I'll be right back. So we got it cleaned up, got all our fish done. We ended up with 10 keepers there, so we have 20 fillets, which what I found is when I cook fish for people, usually 2.5 or 3 fillets, so 1.5 fish. 3 fillets is about what you can count on per person. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I've done it a lot of times, and that just seems to me to be how you should plan. So if you got 10 people, that'd be 30 fillets. That'd be 15 fish for crappie. Obviously, the bigger fish, the bigger the fish is, the less you would need. But I should clarify that. With crappie, I found it to be 3 fillets per person. But like I said, I'm not cooking this meat today, so I'm preparing it to freeze. I just got a Ziploc bag. What I like to do is just take some salt, pour some salt in there. As you can see, it's pretty exact. I'm gonna run some water in here. You don't want to fill this up too much, because when you freeze it, of course, water expands. So, and you don't need much. You just really want the fish covered. Put me some water in there. Make sure that's mixed up real good. Dissolve all that salt. And I've already washed these off. So I mean, there's a little piece of skin. I've already got clean. Look how beautiful that meat is. Perfectly white. I mean, just gorgeous. Organic before organic was cool. But we'll just get all our meat in here. It's all been cleaned up, washed off. Shake that around a little bit, and need a little bit more water. So, and that's kind of how I judge it. I mean, now there's a little bit of water on top of the crappie, so it's good. I'm gonna seal this up. I'm gonna leave that. If you want to try to get all the air out of there you can get. You don't want the air in there. Air is what causes it to freeze or burn. So even if you push out a little bit of the salt water. Now you can see that. I mean, I had no vacuum seal, no nothing. But I mean, that you can see how the water. See that? I mean, there's very, very little air in there. We got one little pocket right there, but that's perfect. So I'm gonna wash my bag off, just so it doesn't smell when I unthaw it. There you go. There's 20 fillets in there, soaking. I'm gonna freeze those, and I freeze them like this. I freeze them laid down like this, so it's more of in a plate style. soaking in, they got salt water on them. So when you go to fry them or blacken them, that's the only two ways I'll eat crappie, fried or blackened. But no salt needed. Put your seasoning on there, your batter, and you're ready to go. But I'm gonna put this right in the freezer. And we'll probably eat it next weekend when Brandon's here turkey hunting, fry some of these up. But be sure to give us a thumbs up, like the video, leave some comments. Thanks, guys. Peace.